It started on a Saturday morning, which is how it always seems to start. On an ordinary morning, without announcement. Their Catahoula mix, Jasper, was 2 years old and had always been a dog of routines. He ran with Marcus every morning at 6:30. He ate at 7. He napped in the patch of morning sun by the sliding door from 9 to 11. He was consistent in the way that dogs with good schedules are consistent, predictable as furniture, reliable as weather. On the Saturday morning in question, Jasper did not go back to the sun patch after the run. He went upstairs. Marcus hadn't thought about it. He'd assumed Jasper was following his wife Dominique, who was upstairs with the baby. He'd made coffee. He'd gone up 20 minutes later and found Jasper not with Dominique and the baby, but in the hallway sitting in front of the closed nursery door. Dominique was in the master bedroom nursing. He'd brought Jasper downstairs. Jasper had gone back upstairs. They'd done this 4 times before Marcus stopped fighting it. He left the nursery door open. Jasper went in and sat at the foot of the crib. Not touching. At the foot. By Saturday afternoon, Jasper had not eaten. By Saturday evening, he had not moved from the nursery except to drink water. Dominique was concerned about him. Marcus was frustrated. They had a baby to manage and a dog who had abandoned his routine and taken up residence in the nursery like he was on watch duty. The baby, 6-week-old Nia, was sleeping normally, eating normally. The monitor showed nothing unusual. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Sunday morning, Nia woke at 4 a.m. with a cry that was different. Not the standard hunger cry. Sharper, shorter. Dominique was awake before the monitor completed its alarm. She went to the nursery. Jasper was already standing when she opened the door. Not barking, standing, positioned between the crib and the door, facing toward the hallway. Nia's temperature was 102.8. Her breathing was elevated. Dominique, who had been a labor and delivery nurse for 8 years, looked at her daughter's face and said one word to Marcus, who was in the doorway. Go. They drove to the children's hospital. Nia had a UTI that had progressed to early sepsis. The attending physician used very clear language. Early presentation. She said, the next 4 to 6 hours were going to determine this case's trajectory. She said they had come in at a moment that mattered. Marcus asked, how do you know it started? She said, based on the fever curve and the progression, this developed sometime Saturday morning. Has your pet ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Marcus stood in the hallway of the pediatric ward and thought about Saturday morning, about Jasper going upstairs instead of to the sun patch, about the nursery door and the 4 times he'd brought the dog down, about 36 hours of a dog who hadn't eaten and hadn't left a room and had been apparently tracking something from the moment it began. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never ask for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Nia came home after 4 days. Jasper was at the carrier as usual. He sniffed her thoroughly, walked to the nursery, assessed the room, and came back downstairs. He ate his food. He went to the sun patch. He slept for 2 hours. Dominique stood in the kitchen and watched him sleep and thought about the 36 hours and what he had spent them doing while they were asleep. The next story involves a family dog who positioned himself at the base of a flight of outdoor steps every single evening, and what the structural engineer found when they finally inspected them.